experienced campers, Russell Hill and Carol Clay, ventured into the secluded Wonnangatta Valley in March 2020. It was supposed to be a peaceful getaway, a chance to escape the noise of everyday life. But something happened out there in the wilderness, something sinister. Days turned into weeks, and there was no sign of them. What began as a routine camping trip turned into one of Australia's most baffling missing persons cases. Authorities scoured the rugged terrain, hoping to find a clue, but what they eventually uncovered was far more chilling than anyone could have imagined. Today, we're breaking down the case to piece together the truth about what really happened to Russell Hill and Carol Clay. A secret affair, a deadly trip. Russell Hill, a 74-year-old experienced outdoorsman, loved the wilderness. He had spent years exploring the Australian high country, setting up camp in remote areas, and enjoying the serenity of nature. But there was another side to this trip. His companion, Carol Clay, 73, was not just a friend. She was his longtime secret lover. Carol, a former Victorian Country Women's Association president, was well known in her community. She had been romantically involved with Russell for years, despite his being married. Their camping trips were a way to spend time together away from prying eyes. But this time, they wouldn't return. It was supposed to be a peaceful getaway, just the two of them, hidden from the world. But the remote beauty of Wonnangatta Valley would instead become the setting for something far more sinister. Investigators believe that their final trip was unknowingly leading them into danger. For nearly 2 years, police had little to go on. No bodies, no witnesses, just an abandoned campsite with signs of hurried departure. That was until they arrested Greg Lynn, a former airline pilot, in November 2021. Investigators believed that Lynn was the last person to see the couple alive. But why would a respected pilot be involved in such a gruesome case? As the details emerged, a disturbing picture began to form. Lynn had a history of camping in the same area, and his extensive knowledge of survival tactics and firearm use became key elements in the investigation. Was this just a confrontation gone wrong, or was there something more calculated behind his actions? Some speculated that Russell and Carol unknowingly crossed paths with the wrong person at the wrong time. Others believed there was a deeper motive, something beyond a simple dispute. Was it jealousy, a territorial dispute, or something even darker? One thing was certain: the isolated wilderness that had once been Russell and Carol's escape from the world had turned into the perfect crime scene, silent, vast, and unforgiving. The valley had seen disappearances before, but this case gripped the nation. 2 lives lost, a suspect with a shadowy past, and countless unanswered questions. Even as the trial unfolded, the truth remained elusive, buried beneath layers of speculation, mystery, and fear. Smoke, silence, and suspicion, the start of a chilling mystery. On March 19, 2020, Russell and Carol set out for a camping trip in Victoria's Wonnangatta Valley, a remote and rugged part of the Australian high country. Russell had radioed a friend, saying everything was fine, but after that, silence. Days later, authorities found their campsite, but something was off. Their tent was burned to the ground. Their vehicle, Russell's Toyota Land Cruiser, was still parked nearby. No sign of struggle, but also no sign of the couple. Personal belongings left behind. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. The lack of immediate evidence made this case all the more perplexed. Had they fallen victim to an accident? Or was there something more sinister at play? Investigators combed the site for forensic evidence but found very little. The remote nature of the area, coupled with the fire, made evidence collection extremely difficult. Adding to the mystery, authorities discovered that Russell had brought along a drone, which was missing from the campsite. Could it have recorded something that someone didn't want seen? Speculation grew that it might have captured footage related to their disappearance. However, the drone was never recovered. Witnesses later reported seeing a blue Nissan Patrol in the area at the time of the disappearance, a vehicle that would later be linked to Greg Lynn. At first, these sightings seemed insignificant, but as the investigation continued, they became critical pieces of evidence. Additionally, some locals and campers reported hearing raised voices coming from the campsite before the fire. Was it an argument that escalated to something far worse? Or was there another person involved who has never been identified? Investigators had more questions than answers. Days, weeks, and years. How this case unraveled over time. Understanding the timeline was crucial in piecing together what happened. Here's how it all unfolded. March 19th, 2020, Russell and Carol arrive at the Wonnangatta Valley campsite, setting up what was meant to be another secret getaway in the wilderness. March 20th, 2020, Russell makes a radio call stating everything is fine. This is the last known communication from him. After this, the couple vanishes without a trace. March 21st, 2020, witnesses recall seeing smoke in the area, possibly from their burned campsite. Was this an accident or an intentional act to destroy evidence? March 26th, 2020, police locate the abandoned campsite, finding scorched remains of camping gear but no sign of Russell or Carol. The investigation begins April 2020 to November 2021. Investigators conduct interviews, analyze forensic evidence, and track potential leads. But the case remains unsolved for over a year. Frustration mounts as every clue seems to lead to a dead end. The harsh environment of Wonnangatta makes searches even more difficult. November 2021. Greg Lynn is arrested following extensive police surveillance and interrogation. Authorities believe they finally have their suspect. 2022 to 2023. Court proceedings and investigations reveal shocking details, including Lynn's actions after the crime, how he allegedly disposed of evidence, and forensic links tying him to the scene. 2024. After years of investigation, Greg Lynn is found guilty of Carol Clay's murder, but acquitted of charges related to Russell Hill's death. Despite the conviction, gaps in the story remain. What truly happened in the final moments of Russell and Carol's lives? Could there be more to the case than what was presented in court? This timeline highlights just how long this mystery remained unsolved, leaving families and investigators desperate for answers. Even now, some questions still linger. Will we ever truly know what happened in the valley that night? A remote valley, a perfect cover. The Wonnangatta Valley is a remote and isolated area surrounded by rugged mountains and dense forests. It's beautiful but unforgiving, a place where nature thrives and humans struggle, a perfect setting for both adventure and danger. Harsh terrain, steep cliffs, thick bushland, and difficult access points make searches incredibly challenging. Even experienced hikers can lose their way, and rescue efforts are often slow and complicated. The valley's dense vegetation can swallow up evidence, making it nearly impossible for authorities to track movements or locate missing persons. Footsteps disappear, and time erases all but the strongest clues. Few witnesses. With minimal human activity in Syria, there were no immediate leads. The vast wilderness means that even if someone were nearby, they might not have seen or heard anything unusual. Silence dominates the valley, broken only by the wind and the calls of wildlife. If something sinister happens here, it can remain hidden for years. Wildlife and weather. The area is known for its unpredictable conditions, making it hard to distinguish between an accident and foul play. Sudden storms, freezing nights, and wild animals add to the danger, further complicating investigations. Did Russell and Carol encounter something or someone they couldn't escape from? Limited communication. Cell phone reception is virtually non-existent, meaning that once Russell and Carol entered the valley, they were effectively cut off from the outside world. No calls, no messages, just the silence of the wild. The Wonnangatta Valley has long been known for unsolved mysteries and vanishing campers. Stories of missing bushmen and unexplained events date back over a century. Some believe the valley holds secrets that may never be uncovered. Many believe the valley itself is cursed, an unforgiving land where those who enter may never leave. Strange lights, ghostly whispers, and unexplainable disappearances have only deepened its reputation. In such an isolated and treacherous landscape, one question remains. Did Russell and Carol unknowingly walk into a trap, or was their fate sealed by the wilderness itself? Secrets, tensions, and a deadly outcome. The question that haunted investigators was, why? Why would Greg Lynn, a successful pilot with a stable career, have anything to do with Russell and Carol's disappearance? He wasn't a drifter or a known criminal, yet he became the prime suspect in a chilling case that shook the nation. Authorities believe there was a confrontation between Lynn and Hill, perhaps over camping spots, noise, or even long-standing tensions that had gone unnoticed. Some speculate that an argument over hunting grounds or territorial disputes may have triggered the fatal encounter. Others suggest a more personal grudge, hidden beneath the surface. What started as a heated argument escalated into violence. Whether intentional or a moment of rage, the outcome was the same. 2 people dead in the wilderness. Some believe the confrontation spiraled out of control, leaving Lynn with a choice: turn himself in or cover his tracks. Lynn allegedly disposed of the bodies, burned the campsite to destroy evidence, and returned home as if nothing had happened. His experience as a hunter and survivalist likely played a role in how he managed to cover his tracks for so long. He knew how to navigate the wilderness, erase traces of his presence, and avoid detection. Investigators believe this knowledge delayed his capture, making it one of the most perplexing cases in recent history. Yet, despite his careful planning, small inconsistencies eventually led authorities to him. No matter how well a secret is buried, the truth has a way of resurfacing. Forensics, witnesses, and a breakthrough. While the exact details remain unclear, prosecutors argued that Carol Clay was shot and killed. Russell Hill's cause of death is less certain, but evidence suggests he may have been involved in a struggle before his death. For over a year, investigators were at a standstill. But then, they made a crucial breakthrough. Forensic analysis of the burned campsite suggested an attempt to cover up the crime, possibly through arson to destroy evidence. Witness statements placed Greg Lynn in the area at the time of the disappearance, contradicting his initial claims of having no involvement. Surveillance and tracking of Lynn's movements helped police build their case. Investigators found inconsistencies in his travel history that pointed toward deliberate actions to mislead authorities. Hidden evidence in Lynn's possession further implicated him. Authorities discovered firearms in his home, some of which were illegally modified, raising suspicions that they could have been used in the crime. Lynn's behavior after the disappearance also raised red flags. Reports indicated that he attempted to dispose of personal belongings and altered his usual camping habits, potentially to avoid further suspicion. The eventual discovery of human remains in November 2021, confirmed to be those of Carol Clay, provided a significant breakthrough. However, the lack of conclusive evidence regarding Russell Hill's cause of death left lingering doubts in the case. A conviction, but not the full truth. Even with the conviction, many questions remain. What exactly happened that night? Why was Russell Hill's cause of death never fully determined? Was this a crime of passion, or was there more to it? For the families of Russell and Carol, the trial brought some closure, but the full truth may never be known. Some speculate that key evidence was lost due to the remoteness of the area and the destruction of the crime scene. Others question whether additional individuals may have been involved, possibly helping Lynn conceal the crime. Could there be an unknown witness who has yet to come forward? Or was there something in Russell and Carol's past that made them targets? The lack of a clear motive behind the attack on Russell and Carol continues to puzzle experts. Was this truly a spontaneous act of violence, or was it premeditated? Did Lynn act alone, or were there undiscovered accomplices? If this was simply a case of an argument gone wrong, why was so much effort put into hiding the bodies and erasing evidence? The level of planning suggests something more than just a moment of rage. With Russell Hill's cause of death still uncertain, some believe that new forensic technology in the future may provide answers that are currently out of reach. Advanced DNA testing, soil analysis, analysis or even satellite imaging could one day reveal what really happened in that remote valley. Could there still be evidence buried beneath the rugged terrain? Or will this case remain one of Australia's most chilling unsolved mysteries? The wilderness, vast and unforgiving, has held on to its secrets for years. But one question lingers. Does it still hold more? Until then, the Wonnangatta Valley remains haunted by the echoes of this tragic case. A reminder that even in the most serene and isolated landscapes, secrets can be buried deep, waiting to resurface. The case may be legally closed, but the mystery is far from over. As time passes, will new evidence emerge, or will the valley continue to guard its darkest secret? The Wonnangatta Valley has long been a place of mystery, a rugged and isolated expanse that holds on to its secrets tightly. For decades, eerie stories have emerged from this area, tales of strange encounters, missing persons, and the haunting quiet that lingers long after the sun sets. The valley remains untouched by time, its beauty masking the dangers that lurk within. Was it just nature's unforgiving hand that claimed the couple? Or was there another presence that night, hidden in the darkness? Despite the ongoing investigations, speculation continues to swirl around the case. Theories range from accidental misfortune to something far more sinister: premeditated murder, a deadly encounter, or a dispute turned violent. Some believe the vast wilderness swallowed them whole, while others are convinced that someone, somewhere, knows exactly what happened. Perhaps the truth is out there, buried beneath the thick underbrush, scattered along the desolate trails, or resting beneath the flowing rivers of the valley. Perhaps someone out there holds a crucial piece of the puzzle, one that could finally bring closure to a case shrouded in uncertainty. Until that day comes, all we can do is continue searching, questioning, and uncovering the truth. Could there be an unknown predator lurking in the vast expanse, waiting for the right moment to strike? Were Russell and Carol in the wrong place at the wrong time, caught in the path of someone with deadly intentions? The wilderness has swallowed many before them, leaving nothing behind but whispers in the wind, shadows in the fog, and footprints that lead to nowhere. As the years pass, the mystery deepens. Families search for answers. Detectives revisit old evidence, and the public remains captivated by the chilling uncertainty. Could there be a missing clue hiding in plain sight, overlooked in the dense foliage or buried beneath years of speculation? What if the truth is known but remains unspoken, trapped behind lips sealed by fear or guilt? Every missing person leaves behind a void, an unfinished story that haunts those left behind. The Wonnangatta Valley, with its eerie silence and untouched beauty, holds many such stories, tales of the lost, the vanished, and the never found. Perhaps Russell and Carol's case will join them, another mystery to be whispered around campfires, another unanswered question in the vast wilderness. The chilling uncertainty of this case serves as a reminder that sometimes the most haunting mysteries are the ones that feel the closest to home. One moment, two people were there, laughing, talking, living, and the next, they were simply gone. No final words, no clear signs of what transpired, just an eerie emptiness left behind. It's the kind of story that lingers in the back of your mind, creeping in during the quiet hours of the night, making you wonder, could this happen to anyone? And what about the secrets nature itself might be hiding? The dense forests, the rushing rivers, the uncharted corners of the valley, could they be holding on to the answers, waiting for time to expose the truth? Or will this mystery remain buried beneath the weight of speculation, leaving nothing behind but the echoes of their final moments? If you found this deep dive into the case intriguing, don't forget to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest crime stories. We strive to bring you the most chilling, thought-provoking cases, and your engagement helps us continue our journey into the darkest corners of human nature. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe, stay curious, and keep questioning everything. We'll see you in the next one.